I do appreciate you inviting me to speak. It is a tremendous honor to talk to you about hunting and fishing and habitat and to be honest with you, why a lot of people live in a state like Montana because of the access and the ability to go out and enjoy the great outdoors. What a lot of people don't understand is how big of a business this is, what kind of an economic driver this is, because it is huge. In Montana alone, it's $1 billion. That's real money. That's real jobs. That's real economic development. I have the honor and privilege this session to be chairman of the Congressional Sportsmen's Caucus. We are working with folks from conservation organizations and folks from the industry to develop a strong plan, a prioritized plan to move forward in this congressional session. And I think the key to any issue in Washington, D.C. is getting everybody on the same page and moving forward and applying the pressure and doing the hard lobbying and getting folks to make the right decision. There are three things that I hear from sportsmen across Montana, and I think they apply also across the nation. Habitat, critically important. You cannot have a viable wildlife population without the habitat to support them. And that's where full funding a land and water conservation fund comes into effect. That's where things like the abandoned mine cleanup comes into play. And quite honestly, if we do those things and they're funded at the right levels, we can have some incredible habitat out there. Then the other thing is access. Access. It is so important to be able to have sportsmen to be able to get out on the ground and be able to enjoy it. And if you don't have access, you basically can't get out of the car. So it's important that we try to make our public lands as public as we possibly can. There's some moves to get some money dedicated towards access, dedicated to making better access and more of it. And then things like passing on our hunting heritage, like we've got a shooting range bill that's I've co-sponsored with Senators Udall and Risch to allow more ranges out there on public lands. It's an important thing. It teaches gun safety and also teach people how to shoot and be able to get out in the field to hunt. We are in difficult economic times now. The debt and the deficit are front and center on everybody's radar screen. It needs to be dealt with. I just got done talking with Chairman Dan Inouye. He's on the group with Vice President Biden, some Democrats from the Senate and House, and Republicans from the Senate and House, and the work that they're doing, which is critically important. Why is that important? Because as we talk about things like full funding for land and water conservation fund, as we talk about things like, are we going to keep the CRP program around? Are we going to have state and wildlife grants available? And a lot of this stuff has already been ripped out by some folks in the House. The fact is that conservation is an investment. It's an investment that pays back. And if you don't make the investment, you never get the payback.